I have a couple of questions. My first question is regarding awakening. So this morning, I had a hard time getting into my body. I felt it was very dense. And I called my father, and he took me through a process to get into my body, which was feel your feet, go up towards your body, and then he told me to smile at my body. And the denseness went away, and I did, he told me to open up my eyes, and I did, and my hearing was different, and my sense of sight was different. And so that's what I was wondering, if that's it.
It?
If that's it, is that it? Like, meaning being in the here and the now, and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So your father is your spiritual teacher? It's kind of, sometimes.
He's been following your teaching for about 15 years or so.
Yeah.
So he helps me with reminders.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's father, of course, is their spiritual teacher, and so is your mother, but sometimes in a different way. They can teach you about the ego, and they can teach you about how you should not live, but sometimes that works too. It's wonderful. So, but what is your usual way of accessing presence when you're not talking to your dad? What is your...
I don't practice it enough. I'm getting into it. I'm more new to this. I heard of you 10 years ago, but I'm just starting to,
yes,
through difficulties in life have gotten me to a point where
yes,
I really want to.
It's not uncommon for people when they first come into contact with a spiritual teaching or a spiritual book, sometimes say it doesn't make sense, then you put it away. 10 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you've gone through some suffering, and suddenly you pick it up again and say, wow. So maybe you're at the stage of, you can say, wow, now I get it. So you came here of your own free will. It's not because your dad said, you should go to... No.
My parents don't support me. I work for myself. Yeah.
So being in the body is very helpful. To be embodied, to inhabit your body, takes you out of the mind. And so as I talk about it, we might as well be in the body while we listen, and perfectly fine. You have some attention in the body, and the rest of your attention is on sense perceptions and hearing. You can feel the aliveness in your legs, your feet, arms, the rest of the body. Subtle, it's there, subtle sense of aliveness. And that keeps you rooted in the present moment, and very little thinking happens then, because at that moment you don't need to think. And that I recommend when you go to bed. Before you go to sleep, as you lie in bed on your back is best, and go into the body. That could be the last thing you do, much better than if the last thing you do is doing emails or Twitter or whatever it is, or watching television. Go into sleep consciously. And so you lie there, and then you actually enjoy. It no longer matters whether you go to sleep or not. In fact, you would love it if you didn't go to sleep, because you could be enjoying yourself more, be in the body, and go to sleep from there. And first thing in the morning, it's often helpful to be, or do the same as you wake up. Don't go into what's going to happen today or what happened yesterday. Lie on your back. Doesn't have to be long, a few minutes. Just feel the entire energy field of the body as you lie there, and then get up from there. it doesn't really, it's a practice that anybody can do and becomes second nature almost, that you just, it's a natural thing for you to, then it changes your sleep, the way in which you sleep, and it changes the way in which you approach the day. And of course there are other times also when being in the body is very helpful, especially if your mind won't let you alone, and with all kinds of dysfunctional thinking and destructive thinking and problem making, anxious, anxiety creating thinking. So wonderful practice. Breathing can also be part of that, because as you breathe in, you breathe into the body. So beware of your breath, can put you in touch with the body. The breath flows into the body. So you don't need to call it a meditation, because then the idea comes into your mind that you are doing a meditation. No, it's a way of being. You're enjoying your breath, you're not doing a meditation. You enjoy the sense of aliveness in the body. Don't need to call it a meditation. And breath in itself is a great way of creating inner space. Breath awareness. Breath, of course, it happens all the time, but breath awareness means your attention attaches itself to the breath, so to speak, and then your attention moves into the body together with the air. The air and your attention become one, so to speak. And so that connects you immediately with the inner body, especially the belly area, because as you breathe in, often the belly rises a little bit. Here, hara is the Japanese, hara rises a little bit, and there's a great energy there. Qigong people know a lot about that. There's great energy there, and you can feel that energy, and then the breath flows out again. And in and out. It's lovely. Anapanasati yoga, if I remember correctly, is the description of it, which means the yoga of breath awareness. Breath creates space. The Buddha is supposed to have said, it's probably just an anecdote, they probably didn't even have hours, but anyway, the anecdote goes that the Buddha said, if you can observe your breath or have breath awareness for 1 hour, and then you will be totally enlightened. 1 hour of breath awareness. But of course, he probably didn't said it, and probably they didn't even have hours at that time. They certainly didn't have clocks, perhaps they had sundials. But it may be true, but you would probably, to be able to I don't want to call it do, to be able to be aware of your breath for 1 hour, you have to be enlightened to start with already. So you might as well not do it, because you don't have to. So the state of not thinking arises spontaneously. I love it. It's my favorite occupation. It's the non-occupation of not thinking. When I go for a walk, just be the presence. Occasionally a thought drifts in, perhaps a cloud comes and dissolves, but be the presence. And that at first it's a practice, and then it becomes something that naturally arises. You don't think when you don't really have to. Doesn't mean you fall below thinking, but you rise above thinking. Alertness. And the body can help you with that, and the breath can help you with that. I wish you...
I'm sorry?
I wish you intense presence and aliveness, and good luck with your practice.
Thank you.
And give my love to your dad.
I will. Thank you.